Annyeonghaseyo friends, and welcome back to the Torsie channel for more IU and my very first IU comeback. I'm so excited. Just a little mini album, but one I'm going to love, I'm sure. I am keeping everything as a first watch to watch it with you because it's more fun that way. Today we're going to be watching the pre-release live clip of First Stop, and tomorrow on Fry Day we're going to do a full album listen together, which I'm very excited to do. Lord knows I needed this, and I just love that she's just sneaking on in there before the new year, just like, oh, gonna save 2021. There you go. How very are you? Let's get into it. Gotcha.
다음 정거장에서 만나게 될까 그리워했던 얼굴을 다음 바람불에는 만나게 될까 그리곤 했던 풍경을 해는 정해진 시간에 떨어지고 거리는 비어가는데 단 한 사람 어제와 같은 그 자리 떠날 줄을 모르네. 두두 무심하게 빗줄기 세로로 내리고 빗금을 따라 무거운 한숨 떨어지는데 정거장에서 만나게 돼
was so comforting. There's something about that actually reminds me of Love Poem, the first performance of it that we watched together, where I was talking about how there was a sort of sense of closeness to it, an intimacy to the song, and she's very good at matching the space that she's performing in, so she's never overperforming to whatever space that she's in, or indeed underperforming, but that has that same closeness to it, the same sense of kindness and friendship. It sounds like what friendship feels like. It sounds like that compassionate, understanding, accepting warmth. And yet there is a loneliness to it, especially starting without accompaniment. It has the quality of humming to yourself, like she's standing on a train platform that's mostly empty, as is the lyrics, and just humming to herself. I was tagged in a few things about this album on Twitter, and thank you everybody who sent me lyrics and what IU has been saying about the songs herself, and she said that this song most closely matches the Guide song, which she said was mixed in with it, so I assume the playback that was going on was her Guide track. Whether it was or it wasn't, it was produced in such a way where it sounded like she'd picked up her phone and recorded something because a little tune had come into her mind. That simplicity of starting without accompaniment, and then when it did came in, it was first only the guitar, just a single guitar and played by her. It has that sense of humming to oneself, comforting oneself. I think most of us do that sort of thing when we're alone, that we talk to ourselves or hum to ourselves. And it's sometimes complete nonsense. It's not a tune we know, we're just making noise because it's comforting to hear that. But then the choice of the other accompaniment, first another guitar, so we're keeping that warm, natural tone of an acoustic guitar. There's no interference from machines of any kind, that warmth of the wood and the vibration of the strings that feels so close and immediate. But the particularly wonderful choice is the cello. God, I love cellos. They're such an underrated instrument. I think people should talk about cellos more often. This is my very weird opinion, and I will hold it forever, that cellos are a spectacular instrument. But the quality of a cello, like a guitar being a wood instrument, gives it that warm acoustic sound. But cellos are invariably mournful. There's something melancholic about a cello, and this song that has a little bit of hope to it, of maybe I'll see you at the next station, maybe I'll see you at the next green light, also has a tinge of sadness to it, because if you're hoping to see somebody at the next place, it's because they're not with you now. And she sings about missing them, and so even though it is this quite lovely tune, almost like a lullaby, this self-comforting tune, having the cello in it gives that tinge of melancholy. And the drums with the brushes mean that this bubble that she's created with this isn't burst by the sharp sound of drumsticks upon the drum kit. The brushes keep it soft and keep that soft vibration that matches the vibration of the string instruments, rather than something that strikes into us and bursts the bubble. I mean, even I have up on my screen the still of her performing, and because it starts with just her in a spotlight, and the angle of that first shot makes it look like she's sitting there in a little bubble. She has this little bubble of light around her. The choice of the instruments, and then the pianoforte playing in piano, all of them create the atmosphere of being alone, but being in your own little bubble. Nothing's really impinging on this space, and none of the instruments do that as they come in one by one like that. I believe the bass guitar was electric, but the nature of bass is to be a supporting instrument typically, so it almost doesn't matter that it was electric, because it's creating that hum underneath that fills out the rest of the cello. How does she do this? That she all at once comforts you and breaks you. I think that's the other reason why it reminds me of Love Poem, because Love Poem is a song about somebody about letting somebody just be. If you need to cry, if you are in the darkness, if you are struggling, you can just be all of those things and I will still be here. The song with this dual message of being hopeful that you will see the people you miss, but also being a song about missing somebody. And the way she sings and that particular tone and the instruments is kind of like the hand on the back that I spoke about with Love Poem, where you feel free to break down if you need to, because this comfort is right there with you and is going to stay with you. It has that, even though they don't sound alike at all, it has that same emotion to it. This album's gonna kill me, isn't it? Is it? It's gonna kill me, isn't it? Oh no. As many of you probably know, I had to say goodbye to my dog on Christmas Eve. Cancer got her. And Love Poem particularly has really comforted me in this time. I just have a sneaking suspicion I'm about to wander into this album and it's going to be like a whole album of that kind of feeling. I look forward to discovering what that is, and just I'm a crier, so don't be surprised if that's what happens. Honestly, the tears, it's pleasant crying. I kind of didn't realize I missed her until right now. And it's so nice to see her, and that's such a lovely clip. As always, she and the supporting characters of the story that she's telling, her band, have presented themselves in such a way that it's simple, it's comfortable, it's comforting because it's warm, and it doesn't distract from this song that is like a whisper. It's like a dream. If something were to interrupt it, an electric guitar, a drumstick, a loud outfit, it would dissipate. The whole thing would blow away on the wind and you'd lose it. You have to hold this thing very delicately, this little bubble of a song. And they've all done the right thing again, as IU always does. Hair pulled back, simple white shirt, letting the song be everything instead of creating distractions. I love her so much. I missed you all in my time off. I'm sorry it was a little longer than expected, but it's lovely to be back. I hope you all had a lovely, lovely Christmas and have a great New Year's coming your way. Here's to 2022. We've got so many things to talk about. We've got so many things to listen to and love. No matter what else is going on in your life, I always look forward to this little sanctuary that we have together. It's a nice station to stop at. Oh goodness, thank you for joining me for more IU after our little break. 감사합니다, 사랑해요, and I will see you tomorrow for the rest of the album. 안녕.